of 10. 10 out of 10. Yep. 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 Yep.
Hey y'all, so I am back with another video today, and today we're doing a book review. I know I normally do book vlogs, but like I finished this book within 2 days, and I honestly been in a reading slump, and the only way I can really get myself out of a reading slump is by like doing audiobooks and like transitioning myself back into reading. So like I'll do an audiobook and then I'll do the audiobook while I'll read, and then while I'm like I'll do both. So like I'll do the audiobook and then I'll read at the same time together, and then I can kind of get myself back into like reading. That's kind of how I get out of my reading slump, because I've been in a reading slump since I want to say like the beginning of October. But I finished this book. I finished this book the end of November, and it's Confessions of an Alleged Good Girl. I had already bought the copy of this book, but like I've been wanting to read it, but like I just couldn't. And then I've been at work as well, so I've been trying to kind of find a balance into like how I'm gonna read and work, because when I be getting off work, I just be wanting to sit in silence. So you know, I'm gonna have to figure that out. But I did read Confessions of an Alleged Good Girl, and I have so many thoughts. I don't even really want to talk about my reading slump because I have so much shit I want to say. I'm gonna give myself about 30 minutes, okay? Because I have a lot of things I want to talk about, okay? So I did read Confessions of a Alleged Good Girl. I also did read Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry, which is by the same author, Joya Goffney. And well, I read both of those this year, and honestly, I feel like Confessions of an Alleged Good Girl is better. Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry did get 5 stars from me, but I just feel like this is he did what needed to be done. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. So, I don't got no notes. I probably should have did some notes, but oh well, girl. Okay. So, who are we gonna start off with? Main part of the story. This is gonna be spoilers, so you need to go ahead and just go on somewhere, okay? So, spoilers. Okay. So this book starts with the main character, Monique, and she is a church girl. Her dad is a pastor, and her mom is, first lady, whatever. And she has this boyfriend that she's been with for 2 years, and he has kind of a close relationship with the family, especially with the dad. They have some type of emotional incestual connection, if you want me to tell it. But anyways, the boyfriend, his name is Dom. So Monique and Dom have been dating for 2 years, and they, been trying to go on dates and stuff. But at these dates, they have been trying to have sex, right? And I think they've been trying to have sex 29 times. They are both 17 years old. They've been trying to have sex like 29 times, right? But every time they, try to do it, she just can't do it, right? She just can't do it. Like, her body physically rejects him, and she's been trying to figure out, what is wrong with her body. Does she have some type of condition, whatever. So the night of their anniversary, that morning, he broke up with her at some fucking, I don't know, some type of random breakfast restaurant with diner, whatever the fuck. And she, went home, and she was crying, and like her parents was trying to figure out, what happened, whatever. And, she never said. And her dad was also like trying to pressure her into like talking to him, and trying to he's like been inserting himself into their business to try and get her to like communicate with him and stuff like that. Because afterwards, Dom was just like, hey, you need to figure out what's going on with your body, whatever. So he was like, so she basically was just left for dead. So Monique went to the clinic to go see, what's wrong with her body, and she sees Sasha. So Sasha is the typical church girl, but she's like known for like she knows all the hymns, she knows all the scriptures. She's one of those typical church girls, right? And so Monique didn't really like her because her mom will always compare her to Sasha and be like, oh, you should be like Sasha. Sasha is, she is the image that, you would need to be for being the pastor's daughter or whatever. So I think that's where most of her vitriol came for Sasha. But she treated Sasha kind of nasty though, because they were like, her and Dom, they would be talking shit about her and this and this, but Sasha ended up becoming her savior. So at the clinic, Sasha mom's work at the clinic, but she kind of like shadows the OBGYN there, and she kind of works there. So she was there, she went there, and she was like, oh girl, what's wrong with you? Da 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 da. And Monique didn't really want to tell her, but then Sasha was like, I can help you, blah blah blah. So she ended up helping her, and they ended up becoming close knit. And she basically was like really actually helping her do research, this and this, because they got child locks on stuff. This girl, the girl is 17. They got child locks on TVs and websites. And hang it up, okay? So she basically was saying that she may have this condition called vaginismus, and it is something that people who get SA can have, but it's also people like who are just so traumatized from the fact of not learning about sex, and like to the point where they can't do it, because she grew up in the church, and sex is seen as some type of like, terrible thing. If you do it, you're going to hell. If you do it, you're going to be devalued. You can't give yourself to someone. You're supposed to save yourself or your husband. All that type of stuff. And basically how that trauma has basically, been inflicted with her body and stuff like that. So that's basically it. Now, there's also this boy named Reggie. Reggie is kind of the boy that her dad has taken in and been watching over, and he's the troublemaker. And he basically walked in on them one day because they were Sasha and Monique were looking up vaginas, and he basically saw it, and he basically kind of like added himself into it. And basically they kind of went on this adventure together to go get the little dilators to help her. So Sasha told her the dilators will help her be more comfortable with, trying to, have sex or whatever. And dilators are basically like dildos or whatever. They're not dildos, but they're dildos. But, it's supposed to help her be more comfortable or whatever. So, they basically went on an adventure with that, and she basically learned about Sasha. She learned about Reggie. They developed friendships. They were hanging out and stuff like that and all that. Okay, so that's kind of like the premise of the story. I really just want to drag the characters. Okay, so Monique. Okay, so with Dom, I feel like Dom, I can understand where Dom was coming from in the beginning of the book, because he didn't really know what was going on with her, right? And they're 17 years old. Like, is he really obligated to like stick around in this tight knit, committed relationship with her if she is not really serving him? You know what I mean? And I can understand where he's coming from. Like, you don't know what's going on with your body. Like, I can understand where he was coming from in the beginning of the book. Like, did he really have to like stick around with her? Like, they're not married. You know what I mean? So like, I can understand where he was coming from in the beginning of the book. Now, when he got to the middle of the book and he was like, oh, what you doing here with Sasha? Why you hanging out with Sasha and Reggie when they was at Sasha's house and he was with Sasha's brother and he was trying to like be like, oh, what you doing with her? And then talk about my girl and this and this. And then talking about, and then when she told him about the condition she had, he was like, oh, call me when you put the dilators in, and call me when you figure yourself out. Like, girl, what? Like, girl, it's a no for me. The misogyny jumped out, okay? The misogyny jumped out. And then at the end of the book, when he was being nasty and was like, oh, you owe me your body and this, and this. I'm like, this coming... Would you ever say that to her dad? Apparently you have, and he did nothing about it. But anyways, let's get on that. Okay, let's get on the parents. Okay, Monique's parents, nasty. Both of her parents can go to hell. They can go to hell. Monique's mom can be the first. Both of them can go to hell. Monique's mom, Bianca, and the dad, both of them can go to hell. Go to hell. I know y'all was trying to give Monique mama a little bit of a redemption arc. And you know what? I'm not really for the redemption arc for her. I can understand having a sort of a sympathy for her because she is with a trash ass man who is basically controlling and have a lot of internalized misogyny from that. So I can kind of have sympathy for her, but it's a chop, okay? Because the way she treated Reggie and the things that she was saying to him, basically like, oh, you ain't never gonna be nothing, and this and this, and you this and you that, and no. Because the things that she was saying to Reggie is honestly traumatic as hell. Like, especially, like, you know that Reggie does not really have a support system, right? First of all, here's the thing with some of these Christian people. Some of y'all be so nasty to your kids. I just don't fucking understand it. And then the mama had the nerve to be a fucking teacher. You're a teacher and you around here talking to him like that? First of all. Anyways, these people be having a thing for, like, taking people in and, like, trying to change them and make them see Christ. You know what I mean? Like, you know, the Christians be doing, like, they be trying to take people in and being like, oh, they fuck God now. Or, you know, they be trying to, like, change people or something like. That's kind of like what the dad like to do with the men's, with the little boys or whatever. And that's kind of what's the thing with them, with him and Reggie. But the mama was just nasty. Like, you're just nasty. Like, she was being so nasty. And I'm supposed to be, like, giving sympathy for you. No. And then the dad. So, after Dom had ended up seeing Reggie and Monique at kissing in the Pizza Hut parking lot. And after he seen that she had broke up with him and basically told him off, he got upset and went to the dad. So gutter, but he went to the dad and was like, oh, she is fucking Reggie and this and this. So Monique went home and the dad was finna kick her out. He had the dilators. He had found the red lingerie and all this. First of all, the red lingerie was from Reggie in the beginning of the book. That's a little weird. He had bought lingerie for her that night on that anniversary night when they were supposed to, and they didn't, and he ended up breaking up with her that next morning. Yeah, that was that from, and she saved it because she was so hopeful. Oh, me and Reggie gonna get back together. I'm doing this for Reggie. We gonna... So the dad, he was so willing to believe not Donovan, why I keep saying Donovan? He was so ready to believe Dom, about his daughter rather than believing his daughter saying that she was basically being pressured into having sex with Dom. You are so misogynistic to the point where you would rather believe this boy than your own daughter that somebody was pressuring her to have sex with them. Not only that, they apparently have an older daughter named Miracle, which is, Monique's sister. She got kicked out and was sent away to the granny house because apparently they was acting like Miracle was like had got pregnant or something like that. She was literally just defying the odds. Typical rebel shit, right? Coming home past curfew, this, and this. So they basically kicked her out for that. And even when they kicked her out for a couple of years, they did not have any contact with her. The only person who had contact with her was Aunt D, which is Monique's mom's sister. She was the only person who really had contact with her. And then when her sister Miracle was trying to send her postcards, because her sister wanted to go to an art school, and her dad and her parents was like, no, we don't got the funds to send you to an art school. You're going to have to go to this regular local school and become a teacher. And she didn't want to do that, so they kicked her out for, it was multiple things they kicked her out for. Well, that was the main reason. And y'all didn't have no contact with y'all daughter for years. Y'all daughter could have been sex trafficked. She could have been dead. And I'm supposed to like have some type of like sympathy for y'all for trying to like get it together with Monique after y'all found out about her condition. Like, no, both of y'all can go to hell, especially the daddy. Because the way he was acting was so nasty. Like, you are willing to give young men who you don't even really know like that a chance. Because Reggie, he didn't even know. First of all, apparently, Reggie is so unserious. First of all, Reggie is one of the best characters in the book. Reggie, Aunt D, and Sasha. Best characters in the book. Because when they would drop Reggie off, they wasn't even dropping Reggie off at the right house. Reggie told them the wrong house on purpose. So imagine pulling up to some random house to drop off a kid. You expect me to believe that y'all are like really willing to help Reggie when y'all don't even know him? Y'all have never been in this man's house? Y'all never been in this man's house? Y'all don't know how he's living? Y'all claim y'all know the mama. Do y'all really know the mama? Because how come y'all don't know where the man actually lives at? And I'm supposed to take y'all serious talking about, oh, you trying to help him get back on the right track? Be fucking serious. You are willing to give these young men a chance, or, a chance to explain themselves, a chance to like, make up for their mistakes. But when your daughters do something as simple as a rebelling, or something as serious as a boy pressuring them to have sex, you don't believe her at all. What? That is so fucking insane to me. Like this book had hit on like so many like things, like the trauma of the church, and even like talking about like sex in America, how like sex education is not really talked about. Sex within the Black community is not really talked about within, like, talking about it with young children. And even how like middle class people, or Black middle class, can be nasty to Black people who are in lower economic, statuses. It's like this book hit on like so many like different things, like, and also like, being Black and Christian in like the South, because I think this book takes place in like a really small town. Like, this book is just so like relatable for a lot of people. This book is just so relatable, and it hits on so many different things that does happen within the Black community that can be talked about. You know what I mean? And it was just well written. We did get some of the drama. We did get some, some of the romance between her and Reggie, which was so cute when he was like, saying certain things about her and, also giving her the reassurance and basically giving her the support and stuff like that. Like, their romance was cute when they were kissing, and even when what was that thing? It was the little magic ball, I think it's called, where he was like, "Oh, should I kiss Monique?" And that stuff was really cute. The romance was really well written in this book. It was really cute in this book. First of all, the book was just great. It was just great. Like, I just loved how it hit on the misogyny. It hit on, like, how traumatic religion can be for people, and it hit on, like, doing stuff for yourself, self-esteem and learning your body. And it also hit on, like, shame and believing in what you want to believe and not being owned by somebody else. It hit on just so many things. And I just loved how it hit on so many things while also being captivating and entertaining at the same time, with like a little bit of romance, and also with some of the comedic relief with Reggie and with Sasha and Monique, like being like in a friend group and stuff like that. It was just all around interesting. Like, this book has to be, I almost want to say this is the best book I read this year. I mean, is it fair? I mean, I read like 10 books this year, but this book is, well, no, I think I read more, but this book is like definitely, I really want to give this book best book of the year. It was just everything. Personally, I've never really been sheltered as a kid, but I've seen like people in like my family who have like super evangelical Christian parents, and you know what I mean, parents and guardians, and they've been like sheltered and like kept from certain things, had like parental locks on this, locks on that. And for the most part, those kids were like the sneakiest kids. They really, child, I don't really think sheltering your kids is really like an answer for anything. I understand that this is a cruel world, but like, sheltering your kids is really not going to do anything but make them oblivious to a lot of things that actually go on around them, and it could turn into something traumatic as getting vaginismus, but it can also turn into something worse than that. So it's kind of like, and it's crazy because like the thing with Monique and between her parents like being nasty towards her and stuff like that, this stuff happens on a day-to-day basis with like different Black families across the fucking South of America. Like, across the South, there is a Monique out here with parents probably just as evangelical as what her mom and her dad was. And crazy thing is, her mom, when she found out about it, apparently her mom lost her virginity before she even got married to Monique's dad. So, you know what I mean? Like, these people who be doing this type of like, oh, you need to be doing this, you need to do that, you need to save yourself for this, save yourself for that, because you're gonna go to hell and this, and this. And it's like, but they be the people who be preaching that be the main people who be having like skeletons in their closet. They be having skeletons. They be having a whole urn of ashes in their closet, and they be trying to preach this stuff. And it's like, it's just so unrealistic. And and even at the end, when her dad was trying to apologize after the mama was like, after she found out about, you know, the whole situation with the dilators or whatever, her mom was like, we're taking you to the clinic, period. As she should. Mama taking her daughter to the clinic. And she was trying to, you know, get her little redemption arc. Because it's like, oh, my daughter couldn't even come to me about her sexual health or her issues. Like, I failed as a mother. You did. You did. You thought I was finna be like, oh my god, do you did it? You just no. You did fail as a mom. You did. You flopped as a mom. Because if your daughter cannot come to you and say, "Mom, I'm having issues with this. I'm having issues with that," with her sexual health, you did flop as a mom. You did. You did. Cause why can't your child trust you with that? Yes, you did flop as a mom. You thought I was gonna be like, "It'd be good." You're not getting no redemption for me. Anyways, so after, you know, her mom left or whatever, her mom was like she was like threatening to leave, but I know she wasn't gonna leave his ass. But she went to Aunt D house, right? And they went to Aunt D house, and the dad came over and wanted to talk to Monique in the car or whatever. So he was like, oh, he wanted to apologize, talking about he didn't, you know, believe her. This is, first of all, he has some type of emotional connection with Dom, because he has this vision that he wants Dom and Monique to like be married, and they was supposed to be this and that, and he was a part of the family, and this and this. And it's not about what you want. If you want Dom to be a part of the family, then you go marry him, okay? So even in that situation, he was like, oh, I just, you know, I can't. He was telling her this. Oh, I know, I can't control everything you do, but I just want you to, you know, save yourself for your husband. Because he was saying, oh, Dom had told me this. He had said that he wanted your body because he deserved it. And I told him that you will only give your body to your husband. And I'm like, he didn't even realize that he is still reinforcing that your virginity and your body, he didn't even realize that he is still reinforcing this idea that this is only meant for your husband. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't even realize that he is putting value on something that is really not even real. You know what I mean? It's like you're still reinforcing this value of, oh, the only person deserves my daughter is her husband. It's like the only person who should deserve your daughter is whoever your daughter entrusts her body to be with. Like, and what is up with men being obsessed with what their daughters are doing sexually? It's weird. Why do you care about what your daughter is doing sexually? It's weird, because if it was your son, I guarantee you, if Monique was a boy, girl. Anyways, and then Miracle decided to come back and visit, I think for Christmas or some shit. Was it for Christmas? I don't fucking know. She decided to come back. First of all, Miracle could have stayed where she was at. Period. She was like, oh, mom and dad had apologized to me. I don't know. They changed. Did they? I don't know. If I was Miracle, I would never talk to them again. I don't give a fuck about no damn apology. But, you know, that's her parents. So, whatever. But, like, they literally left that girl for dead. And you want me to be like, oh, they apologized. They reconciled. What? Miracle literally could have been homeless on the street in Texas. Because that's where she was at. She was in Austin, Texas. She literally could have been dead, and their asses wouldn't have fucking known. And I'm supposed to be like, oh yeah, girl, I go get y'all daughter. Like, get the fuck out of my face. All of y'all can go to hell. Well, the mama and the daddy can go to hell. Like, I'm not for the bullshit. I'm just not. Anyways, Dom decided to bring his ass in the house when they was having that little get together, trying to drop off some food, because apparently his dad and Monique dad, they like cool or whatever. So I'm just like, girl, why would anybody want to talk to you after that? It's just like, get your ass out of here. But yeah, that's how I feel about the book. It's a 5 out of 5 stars. It was well written. The romance was great. The comedy was great. The hitting on like different like issues we have in the Black community is great, and how Joya was able to tie that in to, you know, how she was able to tie that into, you know, making this great story, making it also relatable for other Black girls, especially Black girls in the South who have, you know, this type of experience. It's just great. It's just all around 5 out of 5 stars. Really good read. Joya has another book coming out next summer. I think it's a romance book. Well, it is a she writes romance novels, but it's a romance book. I don't remember what it's called, but she does have another book coming out next summer, and I am definitely going to be getting my hands on that. But yeah, this book was good. Favorite characters: Sasha, Reggie, and the auntie. They were cool. Even when she had like even when she was talking about like the insecure episodes and basically tying that into this book as well, like it was just so clever to like tie in like shows and other things by Black people and tie it into this book, because they also mentioned like a song by a Black artist in here that Sasha and them was listening to and dancing to, and then mentioning the insecure episodes and like tying that into the book as well, and basically how like making it like kind of like a contrast with like her sexual health. And so it was just great. It's just great. It's great. It's great. So I highly recommend if you are a romance girl to read the book. If you read Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry, you definitely need to read Confessions of an Alleged Good Girl. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give this video a like. And also, if you read Confessions of an Alleged Good Girl, please comment down below any of your thoughts. I'm definitely going to be in the comments. And yeah, I will see you guys in this next video. Bye.
You are dumb, unattractive, overweight, unworthy, untalented.